And now it's another classic episode of Breaking the News, and this is the first opportunity to remind you that in 3 weeks' time on the 17th of June, Diz and his panel will return for a brand new series. We hope you've enjoyed some of the old episodes we've managed to dig out from the archives, and here's to more of the same in the future. In the meantime, on with the show.
It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
And we are back. This is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks 4 opinionated panellists to put it back together. The world's youngest leader, Sebastian Kurz, has been elected in Austria. Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson kindly welcomed the Austrian by leaving him a voicemail with the phrase, "G'day, mate." Sunflower oil is being used to prevent potholes by helping to fill cracks in on the roads. Although many roads in Kelvinside are in defiance, insisting on using olive oil with a wee dash of balsamic vinegar. And new research casts doubt on the idea that dogs are naturally more tolerant and friendly than wolves. Although the research was announced by a grandmother with exceptionally large eyes and teeth. Joining me are on my left, comedian, writer and science communicator Elaine Malcolmson. With her, it's a stand-up who describes himself as a right-leaning but well-meaning Jeff Norcott. And on my right, journalist and broadcaster Katrina Shearer. And alongside her, comedian, writer and performer Raymond Mearns. In this round, our teams have to guess the 2 major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news report. Now, Elaine and Jeff, can you tell me the 2 stories mixed together here?
Jean-Claude Juncker has given Brexit negotiations the chop. There was no apparent progress.
For 15 years,
Theresa May issued
hundreds of appeals
after they met for dinner
with the aim of catching those responsible.
Elaine Malcolmson, I'll come to you first. What do you think our first story is?
This is this Brexit thing, isn't it?
It's this Brexit thing, yeah.
Brexit thing. Apparently it's not going very well. Who knew? Theresa May had also been phoning lots of EU leaders looking for support as well, just cold calling. Hello, I'm phoning about an accident that wasn't my fault.
Yes, this is absolutely correct. We are talking all things Brexit, and it seems we may have reached somewhat of a stalemate at the moment. Theresa May and EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker have agreed to accelerate Brexit negotiations, but there was no sign of a breakthrough after their working dinner. What's your take on Brexit?
Well, cards on the table. I voted Leave, just to endear myself to this guy. I'll go all in. I voted Conservative as well. There is a part of me, Des, that thinks I'm only here because the producer lost a bet, to be honest. But did you see as well this week there was a guy that tried to start an anti-Brexit party? Did you see that? So he called it the Radicals, the party. But then the following day he quit because it interfered with his day job. I thought, that's not massively radical, is it, mate? That's like Che Guevara packing in revolution because he didn't like the commute. Do you know what I mean?
Who are the EU saying is blocking the deal? Who's getting the blame for this?
It's Boris, isn't it? I'm not a Boris fan, do you know what I mean? I mean, the American government find him laughable, and they're already coming at this from a pretty low base, aren't they?
Michael Fuchs referred to Boris as internal trouble, like he's an appendix. Although he is a pointless tube that's tricky to get rid of.
Raymond, what about this? What's to blame? Why have we reached a stalemate?
Well, apparently we're not getting the beers in. Apparently, Juncker said, if you're sitting at the bar and you're ordering 28 beers and then suddenly some of your colleagues are leaving, it's okay, but they have to pay. They have to pay. That's how you end up, that's how you end up binge drinking, right? Because I'm not buying rounds for this mob, right? And binge drinking is... Heavy drinking is defined as having more than 6 units or 3 pints of lager on one occasion. Apparently, I'm a heavy drinker.
Katrina, any solutions? How do we move forward?
Maybe streamline the whole process. Maybe instead of a chief negotiator like Michelle Barnier, you should just get Noel Edmonds in. There's just deal or no deal, and that's it.
Jeff, what do you think our second story was?
It's Crime Watch, innit, mate? It's on its way out. They got to the point with the viewing figures where they actually had to see if there were witnesses to people that had actually watched Crime Watch, because... I mean, it's a huge blow, isn't it, for all those out-of-work actors that just happen to look like criminals. Do you know what I mean? But it's like Woolies in a way, isn't it? We stopped watching it. We'll be sad to see it go, but I guess things have moved on.
Yeah, it does seem that way. Crime Watch, one of the longest-running shows in the BBC, has been axed after 33 years. Are you sad to see Crime Watch go? It's been over 30 years.
Yeah, I'm sad to see it go, but I'm sure we can piece together some sort of reconstruction. I don't know, they're keeping the Crime Watch Roadshow, aren't they? I think. That's a bit like Antiques Roadshow, only all the stuff's stolen and the people watching from behind our lineup.
Raymond, will you miss it? Crime Watch is being axed.
Nah, it's garbage. At least when you watch CSI or Columbo, you get to find out who did it.
They
just leave me, every week they leave me hanging.
Katrina, we're losing a lot of great institutions, and now we've lost another one. Crime Watch is gone.
It is sad. I think it says about 14 million people watched it at its peak, so it was obviously very popular, but I think that was the same number of people who watched the BBC finale of the Great British Bake Off as well, so huge viewing figures, but imagine the popularity if you put those two together, kind of like a whodunit.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Des, I miss those. Miss those. Do you remember those photo fits that they used to do as well? Who looked like no human you'd ever seen in life. It looked like what happened if a human mated with a photocopier. Do you know what I mean?
But there was when Jason Mohammed presented it. Remember, there was that awkward moment when he was the presenter and then the mugshot came up in the back. It looked exactly like him, and everybody was like, "It's you!"
That's you, mate. Thank you to Elaine and Jeff. You get another point. That was the mashup of Crime Watch being axed and the machinations around Brexit. Raymond and Katrina, two stories in one clip for you. What do you make of this?
The Boundary Commission
is sparking backlash.
was described as Turkey's voting for Christmas.
President Trump blamed President Obama.
MPs back plans to reduce
breakfast here
in Scotland.
The first story is the Boundary Commission have been brought on board to shore up the Tories' majority, which they lost at the election.
It is the redrawn of the MPs' boundaries. This is correct. We'll cut the total number of MPs at Westminster from 650 to 600, and the number of Scottish seats would fall by 6. That goes from 59 to 53. But the SNP and Lib Dems have now both called on UK ministers to abandon the review of boundaries altogether. What do you think, Raymond?
Well, I noticed that if you look at the list in Scotland, they've changed the names. They've simply changed the name of Dumfries and Galloway to Galloway and Dumfries. So old Alistair Jack, MP, Conservative Party, he'll be happy about that one.
Well, he's now called Jack Alistair.
and they've took away 6 seats belonging to SNP, Labour and Lib Dems.
Oh.
Well. Sounds like good business to me, to be honest. So you stay in power.
There's the evidence.
See, this is what Crime Watch should be. I'd watch that. What do you think then, Katrina? I'll come to you.
Well, I think the boundary reviews are carried out sort of periodically to kind of keep up with demographic changes, because you get areas where you get new build housing estates. So there's an area populated that wasn't previously populated, and I think the whole idea behind it is so that it's supposed to be fair and everybody's fairly represented. But then that doesn't really sound, if you're going to lose MPs, surely if the electorate's growing, you would maybe think there would be more MPs.
So what they're essentially trying to do, right, they're saying we can make this smaller but it'll be just as good, right? So it's like what they did with Toblerone, isn't it? It's not... no one's going to end up happy. I mean, apparently it would give Theresa May back a majority, and they've said that the DUP wouldn't be happy with it, but we haven't made them an offer yet, so let's see how that goes. I personally wasn't in favour of that coalition with the DUP. I thought it was a bit weird, the whole thing, wasn't it? It's like, because they would have supported them anyway. It's like paying your mum £1 billion to put your drawing on the fridge. It's very strange.
Raymond's right, though. Theresa May would have kept her majority with the new boundaries, which is pretty suspicious. And one of the constituencies is just Katie Hopkins' house.
Anything else we could have done then? If they want to revamp the system and make it fairer rather than cutting the constituencies, any other solutions?
Some people might say that more savings could be made by abolishing unelected House of Lords. It's got over 800 taxpayer-funded peers in there. Just some people might say that.
No. That's ridiculous. Then you'd need to open up care homes for them all. They're better where they are.
Yes, the proposed shake-up of constituencies is correct. A point for you, Raymond and Katrina. What do you think our second story is?
I think President Trump was accusing Obama of not calling families of dead soldiers, those killed in action in the US when he was president. This was after 4 Green Berets were killed in Niger, I think, in an ambush there, and Trump was coming under fire for not getting in touch with the families, not calling them. But he said he likes to call when it's appropriate.
Also, in terms of trying to rewrite what Obama did, not just with the soldiers' comments, he won't take on Obamacare, wants to reverse that. In the last week or so, he's pulled out of the deal with Iran because Obama did that, and his reasoning for that was, which I thought was great, Obama, he did the deal with Iran, I don't like that deal. And what happened with when Obama was there, he caught Osama. He caught Osama bin Laden. I'm going to go after the greatest, most dangerous Persian. Not bin Laden, I'm going after Aladdin. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. He's got a magic carpet and a no-fly zone. We're going to smoke him out. We're going to get him. Elaine, what about this then? Mr. Trump coming out again and once again seems to be having a go at his predecessor.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Trump, when you're trying to get over someone, he's following all the top tips on how to get over someone. Because they always say you should make some time for yourself. So that's golf. Remind yourself of how great you are. He's really good at that.
Very good. So good at that. I'm the best at that.
And remove everything that reminds you of them. So the Affordable Care Act, Trans-Pacific Trade Deal. So he's really trying to get over him.
They also say you should get a new haircut.
That's next, definitely.
I'm just glad of the time difference between the US and the UK. Because we get a bit of time where we're awake and he's not. And you've got to get stuff done at that point, haven't you? It's like, the moment he gets 4G, it's over. But you remember when John Sargent was in Strictly? You thought, well, he's got no ability to do this, but I'm going to watch till the end, you know?
So, we know that President Trump has been saying some things against former President Obama. We also know now that Mr. Trump has the lowest approval rating since polling began. Can Donald Trump survive until the end of his term?
He can do what he likes. His approval rating doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what his approval rating is because he's the president. He's the incumbent. And unless he does something really bad, which the mind boggles, whatever that could be.
His rating's 37.7. He probably thinks that's quite good. He probably thinks it's out of 10.
The proposed reductions in the number of MPs and the latest row surrounding the White House are the right answers. Well done. At the end of that round, our teams are all square. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. Teams, I'm going to play you a mystery voice of a person who's featured prominently in this week's headlines. All you have to do is tell me who it is. Raymond and Katrina, you get to go first this time. Who is this and why are they in the news?
You were born in England, therefore you're English. I don't have a shred of English in me. I'm clearly a Scottish warrior.
Is it Piers Morgan?
I know that you found it a struggle to say his name out aloud, but because you think if you say it 3 times, he will appear. Piers Morgan is the right answer. Why are we talking about Piers Morgan particularly this week?
They've discovered he's a descendant of Robert the Bruce.
You're joking.
They have. It's the right answer, you know.
He's got no English blood in him, apparently.
He's a Scottish warrior. That's the dodgy genetics Strachan was talking about.
Piers Morgan was born in England, has absolutely no English blood. He's actually made up of Scottish with a bit of Irish and Welsh blood as well, and was 1% Middle Eastern, which I think is Kirkcaldy.
I think.
What do we think, Katrina? You don't think we should be that proud of Piers?
Oh, no. He's got no Scottish characteristics. Scots are known to be quite self-deprecating. No, he's not that. They're known to be quite funny. No, he's not that. Well, no, I don't want him. He's
don't want him?
No.
Would you rather lay claim to Trump or Piers Morgan? What a choice that is.
There's just no right answer there, is there?
That's about like
Where do you
saying.
go with that?
That's about like saying, would you rather stand in a jobby with your right foot or your left foot?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I've got to be honest, as an Englishman, finding out he's nothing to do with us is great news. What was the clincher? Did they find an old painting of Robert the Bruce where they had 2 women on a couch with him rolling their eyes at everything he said? Was that the...
Elaine, a descendant of Robert the Bruce, Piers Morgan is Scottish.
I think this story's going to put a lot of people off researching their family tree.
Is there anything we can do maybe to give Piers Morgan a traditional Scottish welcome?
Nice big Glasgow kiss.
Yes, 2 points go to Raymond and Katrina. That was the broadcaster and heir to the Scottish throne, Piers Morgan. All right, Elaine and Jeff, it's your turn now. Who does this mystery voice belong to, and why are they in the news?
I think it's an underrated vegetable, and I want to make sure that there is nothing that doesn't taste good that's made with a parsnip.
Elaine Malcolmson, I'll come to you.
It's Ruth Davidson, isn't it? She's going on the Great British Bake Off.
She certainly is, going on the celebrity edition of the Great British Bake Off. There she goes. Jeff, what do you think about this?
I love Ruth.
You are a Tory, and I take
Well,
it...
I'm sort of centrist Tory, so she sort of speaks to me. I think she's charismatic. I mean, I think for us she's a bit like North Sea oil. You know, if we think she's a great idea, we'd like to steal her as soon as possible. That's the that's the plan.
Hang on, Jeff taking Ruth Davidson and we're getting Piers Morgan.
Yeah, it's not been a great week. So I just think she's a brilliant politician.
So what do we say to this, Katrina? It seems to be a more common thing, politicians raising the profile. Good idea for Ruth, maybe?
I think it's a good idea because I think she'll come across well, and she's quite good fun. She used to work beside me actually in the newsroom quite a few years ago, and she's a very nice and normal and decent person actually.
And was she just to the right of you? What do we think then, Raymond? Is this a good move for Ruth, or could it backfire?
You know me, I'm not really a conspiracy theorist at all. But it sounds very much like Ruth is kind of being groomed as a future PM. 2 or 3 years from now, she'll be parachuted into an English seat, become an MP for an English constituency, become PM, because as a Scottish MSP, she can't become party leader at the moment. It's against the rules. She's being groomed as a future PM, and I'm going to tell you, you watch that cake rise, baby.
I'd like her to see her be Prime Minister while Trump is still President, and see him attempt to hold her hand. And see how much smaller his hand is after that. I think...
Yes, Scottish Conservative leader Ruth Davidson is the right answer. Well done. 2 points go to Jeff and Elaine. You're tuned to Breaking the News on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark, and you can now download a brand new podcast of the show. Just go to the BBC Radio Scotland website and subscribe. Now, so much of our news is about public reaction and opinion, so we've gone out and found some people to comment on the news. And this week, we went to Glasgow's Mitchell Library and spoke to librarians Ruth and Susan. I will play their reactions, but what is the story that they're talking about? Elaine and Jeff, you're up first. What are Ruth and Susan on about here?
I'd probably reckon it was more than that. Obviously, we have to consume a huge amount of coffee to keep us going of a day, so totally sympathise. You have a late shift at work followed by a really early one, so yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Jeff?
Well, 1 in 4 workers apparently think that sleep affects your performance at work, and it just shows how tired the other 3 are. That they don't.
This is the story that 1 in 4 workers believe their performance is being affected because they have a bad night's sleep. This is a new study saying this. They surveyed 1,300 workers and found that a quarter feel exhausted every day, and most of those questioned would like to have up to 8 hours of sleep a night, but only achieve in reality between 5 and 7.
I do like the tips that you're given, though. There's some in an article by a sleep expert. It's the usual: avoid alcohol, don't drink caffeine after 2 p.m, and my favourite top tip for a good night's sleep: don't stay awake in bed.
I have to get up about 3:30 in the morning, so to get like a really good night's sleep, I should probably be in bed sleeping for 7:30. That's no life, is it?
No.
So I go bed much later, and then I don't get any sleep, and then I just go to work like a zombie.
But you always look good, Katrina, because when I'm coming home, you're on at 5 in the morning.
But you know...
And I'm going, she's looking great.
My first bulletin is at 6:25 in the morning. The shift starts at 5, but I have to start, like, the older I get, the earlier I have to go into work, because the longer it takes me to do my makeup. And like with each passing year, my makeup bag just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and now I'm just taking in like a full suitcase in the morning, just trundling it in.
Raymond, what about this? Are you worried that we're not getting enough sleep?
No, I lie in my bed all day. I think you need sleep. I mean, Thatcher famously says, oh, I get by in 5 hours, and look, she was mental. Have a lie in, Maggie, leave us all in. You're mad Trump tweeting all night. Get your bed, you wacko.
Raymond and Katrina, over to you now. What story are our bibliophiles on about here?
Far too much personal opinion, really.
Fake news, dodgy facts, unresearched information. I find that undemocratic and actually quite frightening.
Fake news, undemocratic, dodgy facts. Where would you see all this, maybe?
Well, I hear it down the boozer.
Katrina, I'll turn to you and try and maybe lead you towards the answer. Where would be a place that you might see or hear too much personal opinion and possible fake news?
The digital equivalent of doing the boozer. Social media.
Who's been talking about social media this week?
John Whittingdale, former Culture Secretary, thinks that it's undemocratic because it's putting local papers out of business, and he wants more council stories, local council stories and local government stories. And
hang on, is this thing? I heard something on the radio. Were they having a government inquiry about trying to? Were they trying to stop the media? Right? Were they saying they need to regulate the internet to stop people posting a load of baloney? Oh, let's have a serious conversation. I was going to spin you a yarn, but I don't want the jail. Hey, what is this? This is how is social media bad for democracy? You hear it instantly. This is the thing, right? A mate of mine was in the boozers, right, and he wasn't feeling too well. He'd been a bit of a health kick, and he's drinking, and he'd done an enormous fart and followed through. Now, it was in the paper the next day, but I tell you, it was all in the scheme within 15 minutes.
So what do we think then? This is John Whittingdale getting involved. This comes just days after ministers were urged to clamp down and make firms legally responsible for all the content published on their sites. Elaine, I saw you ready to jump in there.
I was just going to say, there's a problem with fake news. How could we tell if Raymond's friend really did soil himself?
He didn't, it was me.
Yes, the pluses and minuses of social media are the right answer. Well done. 2 points go to Raymond and Katrina! We've reached our final quickfire round, which is all about the numbers in the news. I'll read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready on the buzzers, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
I'm not sure how much news this really is.
That's BBC News anchor Simon McCoy talking about this entire show. Right, fingers on buzzers. Let's go for it, teams. 67-year-old is named Britain's oldest what?
Newborn baby.
67-year-old is named Britain's oldest what?
Biscuit.
Are you all right? I know it's not the news, but wow. Can you imagine reading that? A 67-year-old has been named Britain's oldest biscuit. His name, Gary Baldy. 67-year-old is named Britain's oldest competitive rugby player. David Tennant allegedly charged £105 for what?
€100. Works at a Bureau de Change now.
Good exchange rate. David Tennant allegedly charges £105 for what?
500 Lambert and Butler.
David Tennant allegedly charges £105 for what?
An autograph.
Is the right answer. Well done, Raymond. £105 to get David Tennant's autograph at a US convention. What haven't 1 in 3 of us done?
Open the yoghurt without splashback. Never happens.
Nightmare, isn't it? What haven't 1 in 3 of us done?
Soiled our trousers.
I'm not sure how much news this really is.
Oh, there we go. That is the klaxon. Simon has McCoy, which means it is all over. And well done to our winners of the quiz this week, Katrina Shearer and Raymond Byrne! And commiserations go to Jeff Norcott and Elaine Malcolmson! The breaking news, just in. Haggis is to be sold in Canada for the first time in 46 years. Although it's not thought there'll be that much in demand for a haggis, it's nearly 50 years old. Experts say you should not offer your seat to elderly people in public transport, as they should stand up to remain healthy and active. Although if you really want to keep old people healthy and active, you shouldn't let them on the bus in the first place. And a military buff has questioned whether Captain Birdseye is really a captain. Next he'll be saying the Waynes in his boat aren't really sailors, and that fish don't actually have fingers. Yes, the news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!